Why, hello, Internet. My name is Prunk.
And this is Orban, and today's video is going to be brought to you by Tabletop Hobbies and Games. Shout out to them, located in Antioch, Tennessee. If you're around Monday through Sunday, come on down, play with us. We got a lot of players waiting to meet you competitively, casually. We do leagues on Wednesday nights. Come on down to Antioch to Tabletop Hobbies and Games.
And with that said, we have a very special treat. You guys will finally get to see the voice of Nashcana taking out arguably one of the best players in Nashville. So it's going to be myself versus Aren. Um, I I feel weird about doing commentary about myself. So Orban, tell everybody how great I am.
Best player. We're not talking the world or the universe. We're not even talking the state of Tennessee. I'll give you the county, but he is apparently ranked as a 20-star player. A 20-star player rating. That is insane. So that means you win all your games, right?
I legitimately think I win every single game.
Okay. Well, I don't know how it went, but we're gonna find out today. Let's see how well those 20 stars fly.
We've seen everybody else's story. We're gonna go in, and here's a little snippet of who Prunk is.
Hey, my name is Ryan, aka Prunk. I am a founding member of Nashcana. I'm often hiding behind the camera more than I am up front. The goal of Nashcana has always been to be more of a learning source for players who just really wanted to learn and get better. We've taken so many players to their first top fours and events, and a lot of them just first-time TCG players. When I'm not out there rescuing puppies and saving orphans from burning buildings, I'm at my local game stores, often teaching the next generation of gamers. The proudest thing for me as a player is seeing the progression of new players, getting to witness their top performances for the first time, and even seeing them surpass me in certain ways is really satisfying because I know where they started from, and I know I helped build them to get there. I can run a meta deck like it's nobody's business, but where's the challenge in that? No, I'm often running janky decks that people will just roll their eyes and say, ugh, I lost to that? Are you kidding? That's how I get the most joy out of this game. My favorite color combination is Blurple. I've been playing it since set 3. I've gotten 2 of my second place victories from a Blurple list, one of them during set 3, so kind of before it's become popular. I'm glad to see it's getting its recognition now. It makes me a little disappointed, though, that I'll have to find a new pet project. I am a 1-time set champ winner and a 4-time runner-up. It's always a bit disappointing to know that you've come so close and you failed at that last hurdle. I know a lot of players would often be excited over a second place win, but not me. I want the glory, the recognition, and honestly, I just want the champion playmats.
Go for it.
All right, so I feel like this list is pretty stock, with the exception of there's obviously one glaring outlier. I feel like that a lot of Steel Song players or Green Steel Song players were not really on, and that's the Maui. I'll explain my reasoning, but otherwise, you are, I would say, definitely one of the better Green Steel players that I know. What's your honest thoughts on this? Like this list seems stock to me. I know I have a couple tech options that are a little weird. What do you think?
So you're absolutely right. With Green Steel, there is like the cut and dry cards that you have to run. And everybody knows those cards. Like really quickly, it's the Diablo Shift line, it's the Ursulas, the Morphs, the Petes, the double singing Ursula, and the Muses. I have seen some lists in the past, like set or two, where they're cutting Beast. They might be running Robin Hood and so forth. And you also run the new Pete Shift from set 7. My honest opinion on this deck, other than the set cards that you run, I think this deck has personally a lot of utility. I've been playing this deck specifically before Diablo hit. Double Singing Ursula came out from Inklands. Ever since that card came out, I saw potential, because when you play other TCGs, free cards are awesome. The fact that she gives you, yeah, free cards are great. She gives you not just one, but a second chance at that same card. So you get like double the value. Saw that card. Green Steel is an awesome deck, and then just kept getting better from there. I am also curious to hear your reasoning behind Maui because, like I was just saying, Ursula came out in Inklands, so did Robin Hood. Over time, I cut the Robin Hood. I was adding, I go four Beast. I can see why you're on three here because you have the two Mauis in there, and then at the bottom you have the one single copy of Grab Your Sword, which, to be honest, a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. I don't mind one copy. I like one copy of Grab Your Sword in this meta because there is a lot of decks that people are going back to running the one drops and the two drops that don't have three toughness. I don't think it's great, but I think one's fine. Uh, and then just another, it's kind of a silly note. I, to this day, have not been on Cove. So with the Grab Your Swords, I like the, not only do I like the one of, and I like the two of Beyond the Horizons. I personally play one right now. I don't play any Grab Your Swords. I have not been on hitting Cove since the start of this deck. I get it. I know what it does. I know it's really good. We call it the coat of arms effect for people who don't know in TCGs. And coat of arms is basically it gives +1/+1. So in this game, giving one power and one toughness to all your characters at that location is fantastic. You dodge so many cards in the meta, like Brawl and everything, and Meta Medusas for some of your cards that move there. The one question I have for you, Ryan, playing this deck, we everybody listening wants to know why the two Maui.
So the Maui itself, to me, and I play tested this the week before and before a game with Aren, and I knew that Steel Song was everywhere, and I knew that Red Blue is everywhere. So against Steel Song, him being basically grab your swords that's inkable has been invaluable. There were just legitimately twice where his AOE board wipe the 2 damage. I actually just killed him with Ursula to wipe out an entire board against the Steel Song list before. So like
Hmm.
I pinged 1 or 2 damage to a Daisy with Let the Storm Mage on, and I had 2 damage left in the Maui and just swing. Him also being a 3 quester just puts a lot of pressure on the board. So like he's really strong into the aggro matchups. Like if we get to 6 and I've been kind of playing keep away a little bit and they just drop a bunch of board like stuff on board, he paid off dividends in the week before. My also thoughts were because of how when we've seen some of these matchups in Worlds where people were kind of on item spam. I didn't want to play Find and Flatten him. I didn't think that card was good enough. So I liked the flexibility of the Maui because they're even against one of our buddies. There were so many effects. He just didn't bother reading it, and I ran in. So he B prepared me, and I wiped out 6 of his items. He comes out on 6, so like often like I can drop him right before they're going to B prep and wipe out a list of their items on top of their B prep. So that way it punishes them a little bit. He's just a really flexible card. He was worth testing. Looking back at the list, I have cut him since, but when he paid out huge. I think 1 to 2 is completely fine with this card. He is just such a flexible card, and at worst case, he's ink. I like him a lot. I really do. I considered putting him back into my list after this past weekend.
That is really good insight on that card. It kind of makes me want to try at least one copy of it because I will tell you from the look of your list and my list, I am still a person that is on Shift Tank, like Giant Fairy.
Yeah.
I like that card, and strictly the same reason you said. Maui is a 6 drop. He's a 4/4. He quests for 3. You drop him, he is a huge threat. But with this build specifically, the reason I'm still on Big Tink, and then sometimes if I'm feeling a little feisty, I like to play one copy of Big Cindy. I think she's Shift 5.
Yeah.
The reason I play those over cards like Maui and some other cards to test is because Morph is a big part of this deck. I absolutely love shifting Beast on 3 when they least expect it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the shift line for Beast, and that's kind of why I splashed in the Robin Hood. Like I'm on 3 and 2. I'm not playing baby hoods, but I they're both good in different situations. And knowing your this is kind of where I feel like knowing your matchup. Like against Arn's deck, I kind of want to see the Robin Hood early on over the Beast. And I agree. Like I played the Tinkerbell in this list. I think Tinkerbell is great. I liked the 2 damage pings over the 4 surprise, like for shift 4 surprise. I feel like the Tinkerbell is very valuable because your turn 3 is so cluttered. You are either dropping a Pete, you are playing an Ursula, or you're probably like hard dropping like a Diablo or a Prince John. So like this list, I didn't play Prince John in this list. This was purely more of a song over a discard list. Like I'm playing discard stuff, but I'm not playing Prince John in here, which in my opinion, I think is actually looking back at it and after all my testing, I think that's a mistake. Now, I'm proud with this list. I did great with this list. But I think it could have been better with the Prince John because I'm playing such a high discard package without the intention of it being discard that not having John in this list I think is a little.
I was glad you brought that up. I was gonna save the best for last. I was looking at your list, and then I realized towards the beginning, he's not playing PJ, and I think that's a huge mistake. Coming from a 20-star player, not playing Prince John alongside
I didn't need
Diablo,
it. It was like it's fine.
that's some pretty bold words coming
I,
from a
who
20-star.
needs to draw like 9 cards from like Beyond the Horizon? Like, come on. Like,
Everybody.
yeah, I just didn't need it. I'm always gonna be in control. I'm always gonna be beating them. So singing Prince John with Muse bouncing their hand and then making them dump cards and then making them dump the same cards again to draw more cards. No, 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 no. Like I just need to kill her on the field. They're not gonna do anything after that. We'll double sting with Ursula, and that's fine. We didn't need Prince John. I'm not a filthy discard player, although I'm playing 6, 8, like like
Like,
12
no.
12 discard. I'm playing discard cards, but it's not a discard deck, guys. Okay.
It's not a discard deck, but there is some hypnotizes, some sudden chills. There are uh, Brunos, there are Ursulas. I do see some Beyond the Horizons, but it's not a discard deck.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is a song controlled deck list. And again,
So
it's great. Okay, first off, it was completely fine. Now again, looking back at this list, I have definitely made some changes. I think it can be better. This was more of the early meta or testing the waters with the early flow. I'm really proud of how this deck list, but this is definitely the most unoptimal version of this. I feel like.
I do like the list. I'm not going to shun it out. Being that I'm a huge believer on Emerald Steel, it is my favorite deck right now. I ask everybody the same question that I run into because mine's kind of funny. Everybody laughs at me. What is your single-handedly favorite card in the deck?
Honestly, I gotta go with Morph. He's just so flexible. It's seeing dropping Morph. I will often like depending on what I'm facing. If I know my opponent's not on a steel list, I'm going to drop Morph over Ursula 90% of the time. And I'm going to ink Ursula. Ursula is great to keep your guys alive. Deck doesn't go online until turns like 3 to 5, anyways. So you're not really doing anything early on. But if you drop Morph into a Robin Hood or a Beast and just get that full control, or even shifting into like on 4 with a Pete and just letting Morph sit there for 2 turns, it's he's such a flexible card. I love Morph. I'm gonna be really sad if they rotate him out.
I'm glad you said that. That is so you actually named the one card that I've been telling people for months and months and months. It is single-handedly my favorite card, and I think right now on my current list I only play 3 because it's all I can fit. But the reason I like Morph specifically, you had mentioned earlier, you play Robin Hood, but you don't play Baby Hood.
Yeah.
So if you have the right mindset competitively, you're not really gonna drop a Robin Hood on 1 in this deck, even if you played it, because you're gonna play the Diablo over that. Then you're gonna play Diablo on 2 anyways, then shift him on 3 so he lives. Why not just play a Morph? Ever since I started playing this deck, Morph is like the Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
You have no idea what it's going to become. It could be a Beast, a Pete, a Robin Hood. You can even technically you have 4 targets to shift Diablo with in this deck. That's why I love Morph.
Yeah, I mean, even in some clutch circumstances, shifting the Diablo on turn 3 with the Morph, it can be viable because typically on turn 3 they might like if you're against a purple player they might just have to hardcast friends or they may if you're facing a blurple player they may have ramped and so now they're gonna drop like a genie or something like because now they have to out that Diablo like I think a lot of people are kind of afraid to shift onto Morph sometimes with the Diablo and it's getting a Diablo out even like even if it's turn late like I feel like can be very valuable as well.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. I'm glad we both agree that Morph is the MVP of the deck.
Yeah, and honestly, there's just so many ways to play it. Like, and one last thing too, just to kind of touch on it. Often when players do not see the one drop Robin Hood, they just and you see the morph. For whatever reason, players will still quest or do something with like a character. It's like, oh yeah, I'll let you trade the morph. I'm like, I'm not gonna trade the morph. I'm gonna put Robin Hood on the field on top of it and then run into your guy and like, oh yeah, that does come out on 3. Like if you don't see it is something in players' minds where they will see the morph and not think of the possible targets that are in your deck. Especially if you've kept your second color secret. Like if you just think they're green or something, then like if I've just played Diablo turn 1 and turn 2 morph, players might not even think that you're on steel. Like which is you should. You should assume that if you see a morph, it's green steel. I don't think he goes into anything like maybe if you're against a green red deck, that can be a little sneaky too. But typically something is shifting out on 3 if you see a morph.
Absolutely. I agree with that. No, this deck's one of my favorites. I'm excited to see how it plays.
I'm perfect. I'm glad to show it off. I'm really proud of this list. And let's talk about Aren now, my great rival.
Hey, I'm Aren, and I got into Lorcana right after it came out. I played Magic the Gathering for many years when I was younger, and I like the competitive aspect of the game, and I love competitive Lorcana. I'd say my favorite colors are probably green, emerald, and my favorite play style of deck is probably like an aggro or mid-range. I don't like straight hyper aggro, but I like aggressive mid-range decks. At times I've been a green steel main and I've been an amber steel main. At this point, I kind of play anything. So, yeah, that's about it.
All right, so we have Aren in here next. So Aren's actual favorite color he is actually a green steel player right now. Like he is a bit more mid-rangey to aggro. He is a very talented green steel player. I've definitely taken some inspiration with the list as well. Arguably, Aren is one of the best players in Nashville, in my opinion. He is consistently in the tops of set champions. He has gone to like bigger tournaments and done well, performed really well in those. Um, I can honestly say, as a 5-star player, he is legitimately one of the best that Nashcana has to offer. Great person in and out. Great musician as well. He's the one who actually helped us write or he did our intro. If you guys enjoyed our little country intro, him with the work of one of our other buddies, Spencer, they have worked together to make our music for Nashcana as well. So great musician, great player. Um, Not quite as good as me, and he's kind of a jerk sometimes. I'm not salty about anything. Great player. Honestly, one of the best competitors we have here.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the you being better player than him. I think Aren is one of the best players that Nashcana has to offer. If anything, he should be the 20-star player, but I mean that's also coming from you being a 20-star player. So I mean, can there really be room for two 20-star players in Nashcana?
If anything, he might be like a 19. Okay, like well, I'll give him some credit. Like maybe after I see him win with like a blurple list or get like do well with a set champs and with a rogue deck, I might respect it a little bit more. But look, I am the rogue deck king. I have won with a red green deck. I have gotten second place with blurple. Back before it was cool. Like I'm a set 3 blurple champion. Like come on. Done 20 star. Like I will win with Jank. I'll give him he can play meta very well, but I don't know. He's playing purple steel today. That's such a noob list. Okay, anybody who plays purple steel, they are just playing. And he's playing aggro. Look, like we're gonna take a look. Let's take a look at this list. Purple steel aggro, like the most skill intensive deck there is. Really, like okay. Orban, what stands out to you? There is some saucy tech in here. I think there's a few little pieces, but can you really say that this is the deck of a 20-star player?
I can say that this is the deck of a 25-star player. This deck has numbers all over the place, and one of my favorite adds this card we'll save for later. But with four, you got all your basics here. You got your Chernobyls, you got your Diablos, you got your Docs. It's crazy to see he's got one copy of Honey Marin. I don't know why, but I love this one single copy. It's almost like he's just trying to fill a gap. Do you know why he's just playing one copy?
The one copy throws me off a little bit. Again, that's kind of a reason why I don't think he's a 20-star player. And it's because like if I want to play if a card is good enough to play at one of like that's a 2-star uninkable, why aren't you playing 4? Like, I mean, it's based like it's very bounceable. If he was on Snake, I would say honestly say I think the Honey Marons are great because you have more bounce targets that are low effort, low cost. You don't really need to go more than like 4 to 5 ink in this list. Like he's on Goat and Genie. This is a burn list. Like it's gonna go fast. These are probably going to be some of the shortest games. I'm just going to beat him so quickly, it's not even a matter because he's just playing aggro, and aggro is really easy to kill. Seeing the Honey Marin at 1, I think that card is very respectable. You have to you have to respect it, but I think the idea is really bounce it with the Fox and it becomes an immediate threat again afterwards.
I can definitely see that. Well, even at that, so it is a 2 cost as opposed to the goat being 4 and the white rose being a 3. So later in the game, you can kind of fox the honey marin for 5 total ink instead of say 6 or 7 respectively with the other cards. But I mean, also one of my favorite bounce targets in this deck is probably going to have to be Pete or Cobra. Like honestly, I'm not a huge fan of. I like Cobra, but it's fine. Probably my favorite bounce card in this deck will probably be Pete. I also don't mind just playing Madam Mim, bouncing a dock, and drawing some cards. I think that's a great use of the Fox here too. But he's got 4 each of those. I don't know what the one Honey Marin is. Maybe he'll chime in later and let us know down the road why one Honey Marin. That might actually come out. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like the Honey Marin itself, I would like to get a little bit more insight from him. But other than that, the list is terrifying. It goes fast. It is a I'm gonna drop my stuff on the board and you just need to try and deal with it. The Vinny itself, I think, is the big standout here. For people who don't know about this card, during an opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, gain 1 lore. He has a 1/4 body. You just let this. You don't quest with this card. You just let it sit on the field and laugh at your opponent.
This card is definitely the one I wanted to pick up later with, and I'm glad you brought it up. I like this card all for bad reasons. It's a 1/4, so it's got a nice toughness on it. It only quests for 1. It's uninkable. It costs okay, 3's fine. The ability on the card just reminds me of like an aristocrat style deck. It punishes your opponent for getting your characters off of the board. You kind of just want to tell them, be prep all you want. So I love this card. I love that I'm kind of sad that he's not just playing 4, and I wanted to see it in action. I hope we get to see it in action because this card's fun.
See, I would disagree. You don't want to play 4 of this because once you have, like, I feel like once you have 2 in your hand, it is dead. And if you draw into like your docks and stuff like that, like you're like, oh crap, because you really don't want to go into more than 5. So like, let's just say that you top deck into a dock, you drop the Vinny, and if you draw into another dock or into another Vinny, you're just like I already got my guy out. I'm already questing so fast. Like this to me feels like it's a win. You want to win by turn 5 deck. Like you're playing so much burn, you're playing so much uninteractable stuff in here. I respect Vinny for sure. I think it's great in an aggro list. It is terrifying to see that card on the field. And honestly, you just drop it and say, "Hey, do you have direct removal? Do you have a Zeus?" Because then you feel bad if like I have to spend a 5 damage spell to kill a 1/4. Sucks. Like it is a huge psychological advantage having that Vinny, and he is so evil looking. He is so conniving. Like I don't think I've seen a card that looks this evil. There's got to be a better word for it. This card is more terrifying than Bucky.
Ooh, those are strong words. I mean, just the nature of that card itself. It just tells me that's what a 20-star player is going to play in their deck. Is Vinny.
Overall, turn everything sideways, make bounce the docks. Pretty unskilled. We do have a couple strength of the raging fires, couple of libraries. Yeah, this is a burn list. It's a burn list. Just deal with it as quick as you possibly can. Stop them from questing. Zeus their Vinny so they don't gain lore. This is easy. Like let's just go on to it. All right, so game on the way. Both players drawing. They cut each other's decks and showing the camera not very well. He shows the other camera. I remember him doing at one point. Getting a little blurry. It does fix itself, so the camera does adjust. There we go. And look at this hand. Okay, hold on. We got to backpedal this really quick. This is a pretty strong. Like we can't see Arn's hand right now, but we are on a pretty good list. We're mulliganing a couple different things. We're holding on to the Ursa, but I think we're just hard keeping the cove and putting back everything. In the mulligan, what are you looking for typically with a green steel?
So when I typically play green steel, if I'm going into game one and I have no idea what my opponent's on, I always want to keep Diablo, Shift Diablo, or Morph, or all the above. I normally don't keep a song, especially an uninkable one like Let the Storm Rage on or a Zeus, only because most of the time when you mulligan, typically you're gonna find one. Um, my kind of second option is if I see an Ursula or a 3-drop Pete, I might just snap keep one because for the most part they help in most matchups.
Yeah, I mean, like I have always tried hard mulliganing up for the Diablo, and real quick, I want to focus in on this. So, hand knowledge of Diablo, I feel like is so completely underrated for players. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. Knowing what their opponent's coming up, and knowing what turn they're probably going to be playing what. So, like right now, is like I'm trying to predict what his next 3 turns are going to be at minimum. So we see the Diablo, we see the Chernobog. I'm going off the assumption of like, okay, he knows I'm on green steel. He's probably going to be playing the Chernobog or the Diablo because if I kill into it, he's getting a card draw out of here. Like, so just planning out what the next possible turns are going to be. Pay very close attention. Try the one tip I do recommend for other players. If like hey, can I see your hand? And then do you mind if I touch and organize? Because like then I will look and like, okay, turn one, pull the one out. Turn two, pull the 2 drops out, and like or the possible 1 drops that can be. So it is really important to look and kind of study their hand because that hand knowledge can be vital. There's been countless games where like people don't take advantage of that hand knowledge, and I want to stress that a lot. Like, figure out what their next few turns are going to be. Always can keep in mind they can draw something and change up the game plan completely at any time.
I will second what you said, Ryan. There's a lot of times I'll play people that are also playing a green steel. I might be playing mirror match or I'm on a different deck and they're playing green steel. I've seen so many people Diablo me and I show them I basically like lay my hand out and organize it. They take like a second look at it and they're like, okay. No, like I'm trying to tell my opponent, in a nice environment, you really need to see my hand. I don't mind you showing my hand. A lot of players don't utilize that as well as they need to, even when they play a 2-drop Ursula.
Yeah. Now, moving the Diablo into the cove, I know there's no songs in his hand, so no reason to not. And because he threw the Chernobog out, I decided to throw the bird into the cove. That way he can't make a trade for it. And then I can save my Ursula for hopefully another turn or two. That way I can play it when I hopefully can assume he has a song in hand.
Absolutely.
And I mean, like I'm loaded up with some songs, but I don't really have much of an end game. I feel like at this point or here. But do you make the trade as a Diablo on the Cove? Do you think you just make the trade and say like I'm not seeing my card, but he banishes it anyway? But like let's just say he decided to keep it. Would you?
No, I mean he's trying to race you. So I've played against a lot of decks that want to race. There's no reason to trade into the Diablo because we know that you obviously for green steel players you paid the cove, you moved it to the cove, you didn't get rid of it. So it's under the assumption that you don't have the shift line. Why trade into it? You can just maybe that you're just trying to bait him into it and you're just going to play it on 3 anyways. So at this point, I like Aren's move of just, questing, drawing, and getting more cards in his hand at this point.
Yeah.
He might be looking for something. We did see his hand in the beginning. He does have a lot of 3 and 4 drops in his hand.
Right, right. Now the problem right here is like we know he has a fox coming up. I'm opting to not quest in. I'm like, okay, well he can run into the cove, deal 5 damage max with the broom, and then from there I might be able to kind of salvage and take out the fox. I have a couple songs stuck in my hand where again not much bigger. I don't have too many big bodies, so protecting that cove I think is very very needed with the hand that I have. I'm definitely on the green song list. There are plenty of songs in hand, but I don't have too many bodies, so those strengths are a little scary at the moment because I need to protect my characters.
Absolutely. No, I think not questing was a smart choice.
20-star player. That's what I can say. But the Pete right
Yeah,
here. So I See, this is kind
It
of where
does
I feel
beat
like I
you.
misread it though, because I thought he would have gone in for that, but maybe because he knew he couldn't get a clean kill, that the Pete was the right option. And unfortunately, with 3 songs in my hand right now, it's not looking that great. And saying drawing the Bring Your Horizon right now with no characters facing down a Pete. What do you do
I
in this
mean, that's just
situation? Like,
unfortunate.
you really can't do much right now. You just pass.
Uh, I think, yeah, you definitely ink and pass. I still wouldn't quest. I mean, you still want them to make the move. I mean, he's not going to bounce Pete and play him this turn because he's going to be on 4 ink if he ink.
Do you see the 3 genies though?
No, no, the 3 genies is devastating.
Yeah, we do have the bounce, and taking out the cove.
I mean, call that cove.
And
Yep.
at this point, I'm feeling in danger. I'm dropping the Diablo.
So at this point, I think you need to prioritize of possibly getting rid of the Pete so he doesn't bounce it and keep using it on you.
So I had the option here to. At this point I felt like I needed the songs, and I could have like dropped the bird and just been playing a little bit more patient. Um, I was hoping here that like yeah, seeing the genies, I'm like yeah,
Ooh.
that's pretty good. Um, but I need to get the other card out of my hand, and I need to get some of these songs out. And unfortunately, top decking immediately after dropping the Ursula to kill off the Diablo.
But I believe in my grandpa's deck. The unstoppable Exodia.
It just seems like so there's been 2 turns in this game that it just seemed like you had a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's the only way I'm stopped. Like, I won't lose to another player. I'll lose to my own deck. And so a lot of the decisions I felt like for this game came down to just seeing a lot of the draw, like, or a lot of the songs popping up. Just none of the characters. I feel like I probably could have mulliganed a little bit better, but I'm constantly getting to scout their hand, seeing the dock, seeing the genie. I can't quest. I can't turn anything sideways because I don't draw into another character to actually do anything.
I mean, to be completely fair, this is it's beatable in your stance, but this is a rather tough matchup because they're trying to aggro out, but they also have. I mean, this deck has great answers. It has Genie, which is evasive, so later it can just eat a Diablo. It's got the power of bouncing and reutilizing Pete's. It's got Foxes, which are arguably one of the better rush cards right now in the game, in my opinion, especially for purple. This is a really hard deck to battle against. And I definitely think in the next game set, you definitely mulligan a little differently against this deck.
Oh, for sure. Like I still kind of go for the hard Diablo, but I think keeping different cards and keeping different options. I would want the morph, and I would want like the 5-drop Robin Hood to kind of help deal with the board a little bit differently. Drawing into another Diablo here with 2 genies on board isn't going to be super helpful. Again, I'm trying to build up the board as best as I can. But you're right. Like I feel like the deck right now it's doing its thing, and it's doing its thing very well. My deck is not doing anything that I need it to do right now. So it's obviously the deck's fault. It's not me as the player.
Wise words from a 20-star.
That's right. Like, look, sometimes your deck doesn't want to cooperate. I don't know what to tell you. Like, what do you do with seeing 3 characters all game? Well, okay, I'm gonna ink this one. But we're gonna draw into the beast and hopefully try and gain some board control. But what do you do against 3 genies with not enough characters?
You save time in the round by trying to win game 2 and 3.
Yeah, like that's unfortunately, yeah. The 2 genies are gonna quest out. He's gonna go in, or you don't even. I think you still. I would personally quest out. So like as me as Aren, like I see you have the Diablo. I'm at 11. You have 4, 6 on board. I think yeah, and then throwing down the library on top of that.
Yeah, I think you just turn them sideways.
Yeah, like I don't know if I actually care that you get the yeah. I didn't see the other card he put down. It was another but yeah, you just turn everything sideways. There's no reason like yeah, go ahead and draw your next turn. Hey, by the way, I have 17 lore. I need to top deck like multiple Zeuses. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, seeing the Muse is a little late. If it would have came on curve, I think this could have been a different game. but I think that seeing the song to kill the Diablo early on was like missing the song with hitting the song with Ursula and then them immediately going into chop decking into another song felt really bad. Just because that I think if I could have kept that Diablo alive for that one more turn, it could have been a different game. I could have seen the Muse even a turn earlier.
Too. As soon as I saw your own.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you didn't take it with Ursula.
That was probably the only thing I would say was probably like that I noticed from there. And then I'm trying to. The only thing is, I don't think I should have taken that Ursula trade. I should have kept it because I had a strength in my hand.
Yeah, true.
That would have been like my biggest thing of like I wish
Could
I would
have killed the genie if you had 4 characters.
Yeah, shouldn't have taken the trade on the Diablo and given you another card.
Orban, in your professional opinion, 20-star player, he didn't do anything wrong, right?
No. As a 20-star player, every move you make is the correct one, right?
It was. Like I don't think that the way the deck was shuffled, it just purely wasn't in the cards. And I think we can all admit when your deck doesn't want to cooperate, it is purely it was bad randomization. I lost to RNG. Like that's what it was.
That's what it was. That wise words from a 20-star. I got it.
Now Aren, again, losing to Aren, not a big deal. He's a great player. He has topped countless events. Very, very respectable. And let's again, he's playing a burn list. He's playing an aggro. Like, is it really that skillful? You just turn everything sideways. Like, come on. What decisions did Aren make last game?
I mean, honestly, it can be. It
No.
definitely be.
What decisions did Aren make? He turned and quested, and he got to kill my Diablo after top decking an answer.
Now, there takes a lot of skill to wish cards to the top of your deck. That takes some skill.
We call that plot armor in Yu-Gi-Oh! So playing the Diablo on turn 1, obviously the correct play. It's the best one drop you can really play, I feel like. If you have, like, so between Chernobog and Diablo turn 1, I feel like you would always want to go with Diablo over a Chernobog, right?
In this matchup, that's 100%. You have no reason to play a Chernobog unless it's your only one drop. Because they know if you have a Let the Storm Rage on, yeah, you're going to get a card draw out of Diablo. You're not with followers. So, no, he did right.
Yeah, I think the steel, like, anytime you see steel, yeah, just dropping a bunch of stuff. Like, anytime you are against a steel player, if you can just, like, imagine, just always want to assume that they have the removal. And, oh my god, did you see that hand? We're going to backpedal this a little bit.
That was a beautiful hand.
And let's see that. Yep, we got the Vinny, we got the Crab, we got the Genie lined up here. Crab on Diablo, anything turning sideways, you're going to laugh. It's going to be great. But that Vinny, we talked about how brutal this is. And this is legitimately the perfect setup. You have 3 1-drops that you want to die so badly on board right now. Your opponent has nothing. You drop Vinny and you just keep questing. You keep the Broom alive. You don't even pop it, I feel like.
No. There's no reason to. Why? Just have you kill it.
Yeah, like if Vinny says when it's your opponent's turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. But here, I think I just have the one option of Ursula. Kind of seeing the board, I'm like, I'm definitely feeling in danger, though. We have Morph and we have Ursula. We do have a shift 3, so probably. This is not looking back at this. I'd want to play Morph right now. But do I go Ursula to... Ooh. Yeah, so I'm debating the option right now. Looking back at this, I think Morph is the right option. But what do you think right now?
I would have went Morph, and the reason I say that, I was going to say the last game after game 1 went. So with this matchup specifically, one of my favorite things to do against like Steel X decks, whether it's Amber Steel or Purple Steel, you want to try to get Diablo out on fast as you can.
Yeah.
Draw a few cards. And literally shift Pete or shift Beast is like your best friend. Put the Morph out there, shift a Beast. If you don't find the Pete, then yeah, shift Pete on Morph. A lot of people think that Pete himself is like, oh, I'm just not letting my opponent play songs with characters. But a 5/5 that, as long as you are exerted, he has resist 1, is a fantastic card.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that I think the logic that I didn't go for the Morph here though is just like it's turn 3. He has 3 characters on board. I just assumed the Morph was going to die. So right here I'm just kind of flooding out and trying to get rid of his hand. And I tell him he doesn't have to think about it because I'm just going to do that just to wipe out. I'm like, okay, that's all the ammo you are getting for now. I am like, I got a grip full of cards. You have a bunch of 1-drops. You're going to get far, but I'm feeling like I can stop him. I'm at a 5-card advantage at the moment.
I think what you did was definitely favorable. I like doing the same as well. If I know if I can get rid of my opponent's hand and put them in a top deck mode, I will probably choose that 9 out of 10 times.
But top decking into the Fox.
One card. It all comes down to this. Starting with this card.
And that's very, very unfortunate. Especially, I have the Muse in hand, so like the thought is like, okay, I can start bouncing and dealing with problems now at least. And the goal was hopefully, okay, well, it didn't have anything to kill the Ursula, but topping into the Fox hurts. I draw into another Ursula, because if I could have sang the Sudden Chill with the Muse, I could have been able to bounce the Vinny. I could have, and then discard it, and then just start clearing up the board a little bit more, just to kind of get the board presence. But unfortunately, the Fox top deck does kind of ruin the game plan, and I at this point I'm in survival mode. It's 8-0. He's got a great board on field. He's got a Vinny. He's got a Fox.
And magically, he's back to 3 cards in
Yeah,
hand.
he's back to 3. He drops the Pete, and it's topping into the Pete like.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Dropping the Muse, game plan over, man. It's he's gonna ink the strength. What does he drop? I can't see it. The glare is that a Diablo? It looks like
It just feels like he has
4 songs in hand right now. It's protagonist powers. Look at that. You're telling me that you go. So we saw what happened in game 1. He top decks into a song, kills my Diablo. He on turn 4 I play, or on turn 3 he drops the Fox when I with the on the Ursula. Then he goes into a Pete. Then he goes into a empty hand with a Dock. Tell me Aren's not cheating.
I mean, it just
He's
he's got to be some kind of magician because I mean, I'm sorry, the
What are
the
there's like
one
5 top decks right here. I'm just saying, I am a 20-star player, and okay, that's a brutal hand though too. But I'm a 20-star player here, and all of a sudden, I'm on my knees after seeing constant like amazing top decks. So I do want to actually stop patting myself on the back real quick. I do want to talk about this play and pat myself more in the back. So
this is where plays get interesting.
Yes.
Because what's that other card next to you have 2 muses?
I have a single Muse and a Morph currently on the field.
Okay.
So this is kind of pro, and I'm not to be the arrogant guy here, but realistically, these are pro plays that you really want to notice how we do this. I'll splice in a part of how I'm explaining it, just trying to make sure I'm doing this correctly.
Plus for 3.
As I expected.
Okay. This makes me sad.
0 cards in hand.
And it's
Bro, you see my hand.
against everyone else, and
No.
not that good against you. I'd rather it
Go ahead.
another scene.
What the? What even is? Oh my God, that's
Drawn to it.
disgusting.
Really trying to
I hate you.
I hate me too.
That's funny.
fast.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I can still somewhat play now. So, if I remember, I know how Muse goes. I can sing the song.
Correct.
I put both effects in the back, correct?
Yes.
So I can bounce this and then kill this, correct?
Yeah, you can do it in whatever order you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Muse
effect,
to
you
bounce.
play,
When you play a
immediately
song. Yeah, whenever you play a song.
So
So
you
I'm
can
playing the
trigger
song.
this first,
Yes.
and this
So
goes to
bounce,
him.
kill, draw.
I think I want to get rid of that.
Next is I can't stop 4 things stopping.
That one was that.
Not easily at least.
Draw and get bored because I need to that one will trigger the deck that actually fights. I'm not fighting. I'm just like Oh, yeah, hold it.
Both of these are bad.
Combo.
This is what I just. This is what I just read. It's not even a lot of the cards are going bye.
That's from last time. Okay.
You needed a force.
I have to play that.
Okay.
It's good against
Target.
That's true.
Okay. Peak goes to hand, and then I
Shuffle.
would assume you
Yeah,
want to do. You want that to finish.
I want this to finish
and then
first
we're
and
gonna
then
trigger
use,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Not bad.
We will bounce the dock. So we have a lot of cards in here now.
Well, I've never. I didn't know. I swear to God, anytime I've ever played, I've never seen that hit the table. It's always the damage. Like you've always had that. You've always had that play out. Yeah.
Sing, set, and chill. I will.
I would say you probably see it more often the way you
I
used
get,
to play.
this doesn't matter. Yeah, go ahead and shut. Yeah. So, and then bounce. And
Oh, it probably works well. Take 4, get 4. That's just still
bounce
that's
to
still-
Diablo from that. Okay. Wait.
No.
I bounced.
You bounced the
I bounced dock. But okay, he's backing me. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the dock in there. I was like,
Yeah, I discarded a
Yeah,
dog.
you're good. You're good.
So now I'm holding 2.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn.
Yep.
But when you play a song, music effect triggers, and that is really important because it says when you play a song, music effect goes in the bag, song effect goes into the bag. So the goal right here, it comes down to I need to get rid of Vinny because he is at 16 lore, and I need to stop him from gaining more lore, but I have to clear his field. So how I need to do this effect comes down to Muse bouncing to Vinny, and it's the first trigger that comes out of the bag, and let the Storm Rage on to kill the Fox. But pro play. I mean, like, you just want to make sure you're organizing your triggers properly. And I think Muse is one of the best cards to really learn the proper ways to play trigger. There are combinations of like putting Muse in the bag and playing like hard casting like a sudden chill, so you can put something on the field and then discarding it with the sudden chill. Orban, green steel player. How good of a play is this?
So I can agree 1,000%. I love Muse and songs in this deck because you always feel like you're getting a 2-for-1 because 9 times out of 10 you're going to get something off the Muse and you're going to get something off of the song you play. That's the whole purpose. I'm really curious to know what you're going to play after this because you have potential to essentially take 4 things because you can kill or bounce something, get a Muse trigger. You can do it again, get a Muse trigger. I mean, he is sitting with 7 characters, but I mean, you can take him down to 3 or possibly 1, depending on the songs in your hand. I think that's one of the this is one of the best synergies in Emerald Steel that I don't think people appreciate more is just making sure that Muse sticks on turn 4, and then on turn 5, just play, even if it's just 2 songs, play 2 songs, trade with some characters, use Muse Trigger to bounce and like kind of time walk them. Yeah, I love these plays.
Yeah, again, like, and realistically, it's something for like new players too. And I do feel like you can consistently make the right plays, but sometimes some games just aren't really winnable. And like you sometimes they just have the outs, sometimes they have the answers. I don't feel like there was any major misplays done. If you guys caught any misplays, please let us know in the comments. Game 1, there was like one thing I kind of caught that like I can't remember it off the top of my head. But unfortunately, I just don't have enough to like keep bouncing. Like I can get rid of a few. We have the sudden chill with the morph, but the Pete the turn before shutting it down just I think escalated it too much. Between that, the Fox, and everything else that came in after, unfortunately, this is a game lost for the great 20-star player. Like you can bounce some more things, but it's not really gonna matter.
Oh, I mean, even though Aren's on some aggro shenanigans, it seemed like today all of his wishes came true with all of his top decks. But I don't know. It sounds like the 19-star player needs to trade with a 20-star player and be a
Hey,
25-star player.
hey.
Sounds like
All
the 20-star player needs to come down to just get rid of the 0 and we'll call it even.
right. So now one thing too is the effect has to trigger with, and when it comes to like a Bruno effect, that has to trigger before Muse bounce technically works. So we're hitting up the P or the dock, putting it back in hand. He has 5 cards in hand, so I don't really. He's got to dump a lot before dock is valuable again. This does bring him down to only 19, and then I can sing a sudden chill to help discard into another one and able to bounce another character, which in this case is Doc again, because I like he has 2 docks in hand. That's always better. But we've burned through a lot of our resources here. We've played 3 different songs to stop the board, but at the same time, like we've seen, I know what's in his hand at this point. Next turn he's going to be questing for 2 at minimum, and he's playing burn stuff too. So we know he's got goats. We know he's got roses and stuff like that. So yeah, and just dropping the P to stop any final shenanigans. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to discard it.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean like, and this is just goes to show even the greatest players in the world will lose to random BS. But we're just gonna discard that to shift, and it's a GG, unfortunately. So we found out something, or actually Orban did manage to correct me on something. And funny enough, me, Aren, and a few other players have been actually playing this incorrectly at our locals for a little while. So, Orban, do you want to explain how Muses and the bag works with her effects?
Absolutely. So for everybody that's new, old, Lorcana veterans, if you're really wondering how the trigger with Muse or any trigger with bag works, so every time that you play a card and you have another card that says when or whenever, and it causes an effect to happen, like in this example, so Let the Storm Rage On was played, and the Muses says when you play a song, that is a trigger in the game and it's going to use the bag. Don't be confused with the card that you're playing because that doesn't use the bag because there is no trigger. Triggers are for the bag is for triggers and effects that happen. The card being played is just being played. So the card being played will be played and then an effect will happen and go to the bag. For the bag to take effect, the card being played has to fully resolve first. The reason this is important, especially now, everybody did this back in the day in the original sets, and you were able to stack your triggers. Comprehensive rules around Shimmering Skies or Azurite Sea was updated and changed, and now cards have to fully resolve for effects to take out of the bag. This is also true. A lot of people got confused with Vanish. So the reason Iago and say a we don't talk about Bruno effect happens, you play we don't talk about Bruno, and it targets a character with Vanish. The character with Vanish will not be banished due to that action if that action sends that character somewhere else because the card has to fully resolve. So you play a card like We Don't Talk About Bruno that says return chosen character to their hand. Well, Vanish says it's banished if it's chosen by an opponent's action. Well, that's a trigger from a card that goes to the bag. Hence, the same example here. Muse says when you play a song, this happens. That goes to the bag. The card has to resolve first. So always remember hand, then bag.
And I will say, as a 20-star player, I still learned something great today from that. And there has been countless times where I know that my opponent has done these, like done this effect to me. I know that I've definitely done it to my opponent, and both me and Aaron is like, I even asked in the video, so I'll show the video of like us talking about it. I'm like, this is how this works, correct? He's like, yeah. We're both under the impression of like old ruling apparently. So this is so very good insight on this. So if a player tries to stack their triggers, just be aware that when you are playing a song, that song has to resolve first. And I think you gave the perfect example with the Iago Vanish kind of engine, or just Vanish in general. Yeah, like if it's not on the field anymore, that Vanish effect can't activate. That's gone. So that's why it just doesn't fizzle out. It's not all put in the bag that way. So I think you did a great job explaining it. I learned something about it too. I had to double research, like, what? This is like me and like I know a lot of my people as locals, we've played it this way. So we'll actually have to make sure that our locals knows this ruling, because yeah, we've been playing this wrong for a little while. And I don't think the judge,
That's probably
even in a set champs, when I called the judge about it, the judge ruled it differently too.
it's all those veteran players. Everybody I think was so locked in at like the original sets
Yeah,
when bag triggers was like, yeah, this triggers and I can pull them out of the bag however I want to.
it's a
I
big skill thing
believe
too.
Ravensburger. Say what?
It's a big skill thing too, just knowing, hey, like that's just knowing your rulings and rules and saying, hey, I want to resolve it in this way. I think it's a big missed opportunity for like the skill gap. Like,
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of times when it hasn't happened maybe a handful of times for myself, but there's a lot of times I've seen players just get kind of sidetracked and they just let their opponent, oh yeah, that's the way that that works. And it's like, well, it could have been a very different game if you had known it works this way and he wasn't allowed to do this, he or
right.
she.
Which again is keeping the game much more casual. Ravensburger is about families and stuff, and I think keeping the game less complex in not having to know necessarily the rulings, just what's on the cards, is probably the right play. But that is a misplay. I learned something. Even 20-star players will get to learn new things every now and then. But funny that I've been doing this for like 3 sets wrong. So
No, I don't think you've been doing it for 3 sets wrong. I think you actually said it perfectly earlier. I think everybody had that mindset before Ravensburger's comprehensive rules were updated. And I'll have to get back to you on that. I can probably look up exactly when it was changed because I think myself included, everybody was playing that way. It was like, yeah, I play this triggers. I'm gonna pull this out first and then do this. We were all doing it. And then I I can't remember if it was Shimmering Skies or Azurite Sea. It came out. They updated the comprehensive rules, and everybody was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! I have to resolve the card first." Just like you said, Ryan, kid, it's family friendly forward, so it was easier to remember. Hey, play the card first, then pull out of the happy bag.
and with that, I think that is great messaging for everybody. Again, people like as good of a skilled players as they are. I'm not just even talking about me. Like, just I know I've been tooting myself on the back quite a bit, but like Aren, who has topped at major like 1Ks and like or at set champs and world champs and whatever. Like he's been to, what's the big tournament that's on his profile picture? Like
DLCs.
yeah, the DLCs and stuff, and he's done so well with those. We were all on the impression of like, wait, this is the ruling. And so and even the judge, when I was in set champs last set, and I asked, like I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, can you do that properly? And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, okay. Nah. I'm like, he's
Huh.
like, I call the judge just purely like, I think you're right. I just want to confirm. And again, I
Yeah.
don't, if you are unsure of a ruling, please call a judge. Like that is one of the best things I can really say. Like, because I was unsure. I'm like, this seems like an advantage. It's a big advantage to you. I'm pretty sure what you're doing is on the up and up. However, judge, like
Yeah.
just
When in
preface it.
doubt, call a judge.
Yeah. So I think that is going to wrap up this video. You guys got to see me get humbled quite a bit. Again, Arn is legitimately one of the best players in Nashville. There is no downside of like losing to him. He's definitely flexible. He wasn't even playing his main deck. He was like Green Steel is probably his main deck, so he knows exactly what to do and how to beat it. But I yeah, I can always learn a little bit from Aaron, and I actually have some of my current Green Steel list is definitely influenced by him quite a bit. Just great advice, and we'll have to maybe show that off in a different video.
I will say, just like you said with Aaron, I have played Aaron probably I would classify as many times now, and I will say here and now, he takes some of my favorite games I have lost to him, and they're some of the most fun, humbling experiences with just him playing across the table. I hope when he hears this, he understands that like I love the guy. He's a great, fantastic player. I've learned great things from him, and he deserves to be a 25-star player.
Love it. And honestly, one really big, I'm gonna give him another props, and he's gonna be embarrassed. Um, one of the fastest and most efficient players. Me and him, I remember us playing like a control matchup before, and we were both on like legit control decks. We got we got 3 games done in 20 minutes. Like we are both. I know I'm a fast player, but oh my god, it's so fun to play him because he is such a fast player too.
He is fast, makes the right decisions, it seems, all the time, and apparently can call the right card to the top of his deck anytime he wants. I mean,
Yeah, he's basically Yu-Gi-Oh!
he is.
All right, guys. So if you like this content, please like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. Check us out over at Tabletops Hobbies and Games over in Antioch/Nashville, and we will have to catch you all next time.